Hello everyone and welcome to our today's class on morphology of mammalian endocrine glands. So in general we are also mammals. So firstly we must understand what are glands. So the glands are the organs which secrete a particular chemical substance which is for use of the body or for discharge into the surrounding. Okay, so any substance or any such organ which secrete a substance, chemical substance, which is for the use of functions of the body, various activities of the body, or for the discharge to outside, that type of gland or that type of organ is called as a gland. It is generally a group of cell. In simple way, you can say that the group of specialized cells which produce chemical substance for metabolic activities of the body, these are called as glands. Okay, in our body there are three types of glands. One is called endocrine gland, other is called exocrine gland, and third one is called heterocrine gland. Okay, so firstly we will understand what is mean by exocrine gland, what is mean by endocrine gland, and what are heterocrine gland, and how we have classified these. Okay, so let us first uh, have a look on such glands. So exocrine gland, these are the glands that secrete their products or secretions into the duct. So you can say these are ducted, they have duct, so ducted glands. Okay, example sweat gland, as you can see in the picture, it is shown the figure of sweat gland. So sweat secreting cells are there, they secrete the sweat into a duct, and that duct carry this sweat up to the pore which is present on the surface of skin. So secretion is carried by duct, so hence these are exocrine gland. Example sweat gland, salivary gland, mammary gland, stomach, liver, all these are exocrine glands. Then second type, endocrine gland. So these are the glands which secrete their product, that is hormones, directly into blood rather than into a duct. That means these type of gland do not have duct. So simply you can say these are ductless glands. They pour, they secrete their secretion directly into blood. Okay. Example, pituitary gland, pancreas, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, thymus. Such type of glands are endocrine gland. Then third type of gland, heterocrine gland. So these are the glands that perform both exocrine as well as endocrine functions. That means some of the part of gland it works like an exocrine gland, and some of the part it secrete their secretion directly into blood, so like a endocrine gland. So hence the gland having both nature, exocrine and endocrine, that is referred to as heterocrine gland. Example is pancreas. So as we know that there are various types of endocrine glands in our body, these endocrine glands generally secrete hormones. The secretion of endocrine, remember, the secretion of endocrine gland is hormone, and secretion of exocrine gland may be any product or maybe any enzyme, but hormones are only and only secreted by endocrine gland. So what are hormones? So hormones are the chemical substances, they are released by endocrine gland. These hormones are directly secreted into bloodstream, and if we look about the chemical nature of the hormones according to biochemical categories, we can classify the hormones in three categories: steroid hormones, proteinous hormones, and phenolic hormones. Now, steroid hormones, these are fat soluble hormones which are generally derived from steroid. Okay, and example of steroid hormone, progesterone, testosterone. Likewise, the proteinous hormones, they are protein in nature. Example, insulin, prolactin, etc. And the phenolic hormones, they are thyroxine, adrenaline, these type of hormones. Other than these hormones, some such a substance which is secreted by exocrine gland out of the body for external environment, that we can observe in case of ants and other animals. They secrete some particular chemical, and that may help in their social behavior or their social life. So that type of chemicals are pheromones. Hmm? The pheromones, these are to attract the uh, other animals of their type. So these pheromones are the chemicals secreted by exocrine gland. Okay, so this is regarding a general idea about endocrine, exocrine and heterocrine gland. Now let us study in detail various endocrine glands. So as we have already said that these are consist of glands or group of capillaries which facilitates the diffusion of hormones into the bloodstream. They are ductless gland. So their secretion, as shown in the diagram, this is a secretory vesicle, endocrine cell, and the secretion is directly poured into the bloodstream, which is carried to various target cell. Okay, so this is normal, you can say, functioning of endocrine gland. Now let us have a look of which type of endocrine glands are present in our body. So there are numerous uh, endocrine gland, just like pituitary gland, then thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, thymus, etc. Okay, now let us in detail discuss about each endocrine gland. So firstly, we will see pituitary gland. So pituitary gland is also called hypophysis, or you can say hypophyseal gland. It is a small unpaired rounded body. Its size and shape is similar to that of a pea. You know, pea, a type of, you can say, cereal. So pea, and approximate weight of pituitary gland is approximately 5 grams. It is this is a gland which controls the functioning of other glands. Hence, it is referred as master endocrine gland. Okay, this master endocrine gland. It is present at the base of hypothalamus. What is hypothalamus? Hypothalamus is a part of diencephalon. So it is present at the base, or you can say it is present attached to hypothalamus. By which part it is attached to hypothalamus? It is attached to hypothalamus by this here. This is a stalk. Through this stalk, it is attached to hypothalamus. This stalk is called infundibulum. Okay, so this is infundibulum. This one, this part is infundibulum. So pituitary gland, generally it is composed of, externally, if we have a look on external morphology, so externally it shows presence of anterior lobe of pituitary, posterior lobe of pituitary, and pars intermedia. So externally we can see three lobes. In general, there are two exact lobes, but third part is also present. So anterior lobe of pituitary, which is called as adenohypophysis, posterior lobe of pituitary, which is also called neurohypophysis, and in between anterior and posterior lobe there is present pars intermedia. Okay, so here you can see this is anterior lobe adenohypophysis, this is posterior lobe neurohypophysis. Okay, and remember, the anterior lobe, it is connected with hypothalamus by direct blood system, which is called hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. Okay, now as we know, there are two major lobes of pituitary gland, anterior lobe and posterior lobe. These lobes, they secrete various hormone, and for secretion they have specialized cells. As anterior lobe, it is made up of three type of cells, that is peripheral basophil cells, central, that means in here you can say at the periphery there are basophil cells, in the center there are acidophil cells, and in between scattered there are chromophil cells. Okay, this anterior lobe or adenohypophysis, it secrete six different hormones, that are shown here. 6 different hormones which are secreted from this anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Now, which are these hormones? The first one is growth hormone. This growth hormone, which is also called as growth stimulating hormone GSH, it stimulates growth and development of bones, muscles and organs. The second hormone, that is prolactin, which helps in you can say development of mammary gland and formation of milk. Also, third one, that is LH, that is luteinizing hormone. Then FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Then ACTH, adrenocorticosteroid hormone, and adenocorticotropic hormone, and TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. So such there are 6 hormones and each hormone has a particular target. Growth hormone, it targets on bones, muscles and other organs for their development. Prolactin targets on mammary gland. Then LH, it acts upon ovaries and testes and causes in ovary it causes secretion of estrogen and progesterone, and in testes it causes or stimulate the testes, or you can say seminifest tubule for secretion of testosterone. Likewise, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, they that also act upon both the sex organs, that is testes and ovary. Okay. Then ACTH, adenocorticotropic hormone, it stimulates the adrenal cortex for secretion of cortical hormones. And last one, or sixth hormone from anterior pituitary, that is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, which stimulate thyroid gland for secretion of thyroid hormone. Okay, these are the 6 hormones of adenohypophysis. Now, if we look on the neurohypophysis is made up of nervous tissues, and neurohypophysis causes a release, I repeat, release of 2 hormones. Remember, the 2 hormones which are shown in the diagram, which are shown coming out of neurohypophysis, these are not secreted by neurohypophysis. They are only released. That means these hormones are produced somewhere in the hypothalamus. From hypothalamus, they are stored in neurohypophysis, and from neurohypophysis, then they are released. So, under influence of hypothalamus, the pituitary gland works. Hence, the neurohypophysis, it releases 2 hormones. One is vasopressin, or also called antidiuretic hormone ADH, which act upon kidney and regulates the urine formation. Second one, that is oxytocin, which act upon mammary gland for ejection of milk, and also it acts upon breast and uterus. Okay, so these are the various hormones which are secreted from pituitary gland. So this is all regarding the morphology of pituitary gland. Then now let us have a look on morphology of thyroid gland. Now thyroid gland. So thyroid gland, it is situated in the neck region in front of larynx and trachea. The approximate weight of thyroid gland is 25 or maybe as large as 40 grams, and as you can see in the adult humans. It look like a butterfly, just like a butterfly shaped gland, hence it is also sometimes referred as butterfly gland, and it consists of 2 thyroid lobes, right and left lobe, and both the lobes, they are joined by a narrow transverse isthmus. Okay, so these are 2, you can say these are 2 thyroid lobes, and that 2 lobes are connected by this isthmus. Okay, now thyroid gland, it secrete 3 types of hormones. First one is T3 hormone, that is triiodothyronine. It affects mostly every physiological process in the body, just like growth and development, metabolism, body temperature, heart rate, etc. The another similar hormone, that is thyroxine. It controls development and maturation process. Also, excess thyroxine results in rapid development, and the deficiency of thyroxine results in delayed development. There are certain, you can say, abnormalities related with secretion of this thyroxine hormone. Today we are not going to deal with that details, but remember, over secretion, that means hyperthyroidism, and less secretion, hypothyroidism, may lead to various developmental issues. Then third type of hormone secreted from thyroid gland, that is calcitonin. So it is a hormone secreted by C cells of the thyroid gland, and it has mainly the action to increase the bone calcium and to decrease the blood calcium level. Calcitonin opposes the effect of parathyroid hormone, which act to increase the blood level of the calcium. Okay, so this is regarding the hormones and their roles of thyroid gland. Then next, you can say endocrine gland, that is parathyroid gland. In human, there are four parathyroid glands which are embedded in the wall of thyroid lobes. Parathyroid glands are essential for life. In figure, you can see here there are two pairs. This is one pair, this is another pair. Two pairs, that means four parathyroid glands. They are present attached on the dorsal surface of thyroid gland. Okay, these are essential for life as they remove, as their removal can cause the death due to asphyxia. Okay, now the parathyroid gland contains chief cells which secrete parathyroid hormone, and the function of parathyroid hormone, as we have just seen, that it increases the blood calcium level. Okay, then next, you can say endocrine gland, that is pancreas. As we have said that pancreas is a heterocrine gland, but the islets of Langerhans present in the pancreas, they act as endocrine gland. So pancreas, these are pancreas is an elongated, as you can see here, this is an elongated gland which is present behind the stomach in between two arms of duodenum. Okay, and it functions both as digestive as well as endocrine gland. The glandular cells of pancreas also contain scattered, rounded microscopic clusters of islets tissue, which were discovered by Langerhans in 1869. So hence nowadays it is called islets of Langerhans. These islets are not concerned, or they are not connected with any duct, and hence they perform the endocrine function. These islets are made up of, especially the islets which are present inside here. These generally they are made up of two type of cells, alpha cells and beta cells. Probably the beta cells secrete insulin and the alpha cells secrete glucagon hormone. And these hormones, they play important role in various metabolic activities. Okay, so here you can see alpha cell, beta cell and delta cell. Alpha cell secrete glucagon, beta cell, these are the alpha cells which secrete glucagon, which are shown in this separate color. Beta cells are shown in separate color which secrete insulin and glucagon here. These delta cells which secrete somatostatin. So these are the cells of islets of Langerhans. Okay, now let us have a look on the functions of various hormones of pancreas. So first hormone, insulin, important hormone which has a major action on carbohydrate metabolism. Insulin increases the glucose entry into most of the body cells. Insulin also produces hypoglycemia. Okay, it also has an action of protein metabolism by promoting amino acid intake and decreases protein breakdown. Also, it promotes protein synthesis, especially in muscle. So here you can see this is a summarized form of action of insulin. It promotes glucose uptake in muscle and adipose tissue. Also, it promotes or it enhances glycolysis. Then it promotes the glycogen synthesis. Also, it promotes protein synthesis and uptake of potassium and phosphorus ions. Okay. However, it inhibit gluconeogenesis. Also, it prevents gluconeolysis. Also, it stops lipolysis. Also, it prevents ketogenesis, and also it prohibits the proteolysis. So, these are various actions of insulin. Then glucagon. So, glucagon, these are secreted from alpha cells. They are mostly they act on the liver and adipose tissue. Here they have antagonized actions of insulin. They stimulate glucogenolysis and also promote the gluconeogenesis. This is opposite to insulin. Okay. So here you can say from liver, they convert the glycogen into glucose, and this glucose is then supplied to muscle. However, where the glycolysis takes place and pyruvic acid is produced, and again the lactic acid is produced, this lactate is carried by blood up to the liver, where the liver converts this lactate into pyruvate, and then pyruvate is again converted into glucose. This is gluconeogenesis. Okay, and here is the glycolysis. So all such processes are promoted by glucagon. Then somatostatin. This is a hormone which is secreted from delta cells of islets, which is widely distributed throughout the body. This hormone is widely distributed throughout the body, especially in the hypothalamus and pancreas region. Its action is to regulate the endocrine and nervous system function. Okay, so this is the action of various hormones of islets of Langerhans. The next gland, adrenal gland. There are two adrenal glands. That means there is a pair of adrenal glands which are present above the kidney. Okay. These are small yellowish glands which are present above the kidney. Hence, they are named as adrenal. That means they are supposed to be added over the renal gland. So, hence, name as adrenal gland. They are richly vascularized and they are smaller in females while larger in males. Each gland, it has approximate weight of about 5 grams and composed of two distinct parts, namely outer part is cortex and inner one is medulla. Okay, outer part cortex, inner one is medulla. The adrenal gland are somewhat pyramidal in shape and they have rich blood supply. It measures about 1 to 2 inches in length and they are present on the top of kidney. Now let us look one by one adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Okay, firstly the adrenal cortex. It is the outer part of adrenal gland and it is generally divided into three regions. It is divided into generally three layers, or you can say three regions, three parts. The outermost layer is called zona glomerulosa, the middle layer is called zona fasciculata, and the inner layer is called zona reticularis. Zona glomerulosa, they uh, are the site where mineralocorticoids are synthesized. These mineralocorticoids, they are synthesized from zona glomerulosa. Then zona fasciculata, they synthesize and secrete glucocorticoids, and zona reticularis, it secrete sex hormones, sex steroid. So these three different categories of hormones, they are secreted from three different layers of adrenal cortex. Okay, so glucocorticoids, they are secreted from zona fasciculata, which is the middle layer. Outer one, zona glomerulosa, it secrete the mineralocorticoids. Zona zona fasciculata secrete glucocorticoid. Zona glomerulosa secrete mineralocorticoid, and zona reticularis secrete the sex hormones, that means androgens. Okay. These are collectively, all these are collectively called as adrenocorticoids. Okay. Now let us have a look on action of these glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoids, example, cortisol, corticosterone, and cortisone. These are the main glucocorticoids. They are essential for life and regulate the metabolism and stress. They are high in between 4 to 8 a.m. Their secretion is more in between 4 to 8 a.m. and lowest between midnight at up to 3 a.m. Okay. Mineralocorticoid, especially aldosterone, is the main mineralocorticoid hormone and it maintains water and electrolyte balance. Sex hormones, that means androgens, are the main sex hormones. They are contribute to the onset of puberty. Androgen in females, they stimulate ovary for secretion of estrogen and progesterone. In male, they stimulate uh, testes for secretion of testosterone. Okay, so these are the role of various android hormones. Sorry, adrenal hormones. Then adrenal medulla, second part of adrenal gland, which is the middle part of adrenal gland, that is adrenal medulla. It is surrounded by adrenal cortex. It produces two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline, or you can say epinephrine and norepinephrine. Noradrenaline and adrenaline, these are released directly into the blood. They are structurally very similar and have similar effects. Together, they potentiate by increasing heart rate, increasing blood pressure, increasing metabolic rate, and dilating the pupils of the eye. Then next endocrine gland, that is thymus gland. It is located in the anterior part of upper mediastinum, that is shown here. This is thyroid gland. Okay, sorry, this is thymus gland. At the birth, it weighs about 10 to 12 grams, and during childhood and adolescence, its weight is about 20 to 30 grams. During old age, it weighs about 3 to 6 grams. This thymus gland secrete thymoxine hormone, and it is required for development of T lymphocytes, which mediates the cell mediated immunity. So this thymus gland has a direct effect on T lymphocyte, T cells, for their maturation and development. So this is about the thymus gland. And last type of endocrine gland, that is sex glands. There are two sex glands in our body, testes and ovaries. These testes are the sex gland of male, while ovaries are the sex gland of female. In male, it controls the growth of hair on face, hair on chest, axial part, and pubic region. Also, it is responsible for masculine in males. In female, it controls the development of breast, then widening of pelvis, also for softening of voice. However, there is no development of hairs on face in case of females. So all this is regarding various endocrine glands and their morphology. Okay.